Giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem HaRachach Say double honors to our apostles and elders. Here at Great Millstone, peace and blessings to the Lord's hopefully elect. So as you know, a few days ago, Elon Musk had retweeted and said that America is New Rome. Now, it's actually accepted amongst economists, amongst historians, when they just compare and contrast with America with Rome, they understand that America is just Rome all over again. So that's just widely accepted. That's just an accepted fact that people have grown to accept. And our apostles and elders was teaching that for quite some time because of the breakdowns of the fourth beast and how Rome was going to be reincarnated, and it's reincarnated as America. But even these economists and historians will agree that America is just Rome all over again, just like Elon Musk. But the deception is, I should say the denial is that these Edomites truly believe that they aren't going to face the same fate as Rome, and that they believe that they're going to somehow overcome what history has already should teach you, the steps to a downfall of a kingdom. But that's why these Edomites are so proud. Here it is, they have this knowledge, they fashion this world exactly after Rome, yet they believe that they won't suffer the same fate as Rome, even though they're following in the exact same footsteps. See, that's pride, and that's deception and greed. And it's all biblical prophecy anyway. But I just find it interesting that how they'll acknowledge that, yes, America is Rome, but we're not going to fall like that. And it's just all denial. Okay, it's a joke. And I'm going to show you. So this is what he retweeted. He retweeted from this tweet called Culture Critic, and they love Rome. We went to go see Gladiator 2 over the weekend. It was a good movie. But it just goes to show you how they were in Rome, how the things they did in the Roman Empire. And my whole thing was, I'm like, this is why y'all like Rome so much. Like, this is why you Edomites are so infatuated with Rome. Y'all ain't doing shit. All y'all doing is basically being a bunch of damn sodomites and doing all manner of evil. This is what y'all consider. This is what y'all consider a good kingdom. And it hit me. It's because that's peak Edomites. That's peak Edomite kingdom. The reason these Edomites love Rome so much is because that's how they really see that they were in their peak. That they were on top. They had a rule over all these people. Nobody could tell them what to do. But you saw what they did. They were sodomites. The Caesars were sodomites. They were killing one another. They were backstabbing one another. And now they want to relive the glory days, which they're already reliving. But they believe that they're going to be able to cheat history and say, yeah, we're doing the exact same thing they did, but we're not going to suffer the same fate. Of course you are. Even one of your own quoting said, he that is not aware of history is doomed to repeat it. But that's the denial. So as you can see, right, this is what he put. Said, America was founded to be the true successor of ancient Rome. Well, that's actually biblical prophecy. America is known as the fourth beast reincarnated, which is the Roman Empire reincarnated. It says, but most don't know how deep the parallels run from its grid plans to its constitution. It says, here's why we still live in Rome and why it won't collapse this time. See, that's cap right there. Yeah, we're Rome, but we're not gonna fall the same. You're falling the exact same. Because as he shows you there, the symbol of the Roman Empire was the eagle. The symbol of America is the eagle. The infrastructure and all those things, they're just making it look like Teeman. And they just rebrought it. The Washington Monument. All of those things were fashioned after the Roman, and then they have their symbolism as well. And then they have the Senate, and as we read scriptures on that about how this written in how that really went back to the Greeks. In Second Maccabees, I believe it's chapter 8, talked about how they had a Senate house, and then they eventually agreed on who would be the leader or a Caesar, and so forth and so on. Your Democrats and Republicans is just the patricians and the plebeians reincarnated, which is the two horns like a lamb. But you see right there where he says, here's why we still live in Rome and why it won't collapse this time. See, that's just a lie that they have to tell themselves, right? So just like this one, It's titled Five Reasons Why America Will Not Collapse Like the Roman Empire. See, why do you think they're making these comparisons? Because they know that America is just Rome reincarnated. And if they knew anything about the prophecy, they would know that that's the fourth beast that Daniel saw in the vision that gets destroyed, and then the kingdom lasts forever and ever for the Israelites. And that that's also the feet and the toes that was mixed with miry clay and iron, and it had the strength of the iron, and the strength of the iron is the strength of the literally the iron, the weapons of war, which is what the Roman Empire is known for, their iron. So America is known for having the strength of the iron, basically the military might. It says, but it's mixed with miry clay, so it's partly strong and partly divided, and that clay represents the depths, the heavy depths. And it also said that your people will be divided. So just like NATO, because America is a part of NATO and actually, you could say, leads the military, the iron side of NATO, including NATO is also EU, and that's why the EU is even breaking up. So they're partly strong, partly broken. So this is what he says. It says, predictions of Rome-like fall of the United States are exaggerated. Here's why. And this is just all lies. This is just things they have to lie to themselves about. It says the U.S. may have some political instability, but it's still a republic. Yeah, right. All right. It says the 500-year democratic Roman republic has some unrest and civil wars, which led to the rise of the empire. Emperors ruled with corruption that led to coups and assassinations. The U.S. is undergoing a period of political upheaval, and the country is often split on major issues, right? But they say there is animosity between the two sides, but still the U.S. is a democracy with checks and balances. No, it's not a democracy. It's not a democracy. Okay, everybody knows that the voting process is all rigged. It's all rigged. That's ran by that's controlled by the, you could say, the Israeli party. It's all rigged, man. Okay. Number two, he says the economy could improve, but it's not about to collapse. That's just a lie. And they know it is, but this is what they have to tell themselves. This is what they have to tell you. The economy is still doing good. No, it's not. No, it's not. People every day complain about inflation and the cost of living and the cost of groceries and whatnot, because they can tell that compared to the early 1900s to today, what you was able to do 100 years ago, you can't do the same thing today. That's the growing rate of inflation. Prices will only continue to go up and never go down because of a what? Poor economy. So that's a lie right there. What did he say for number three? The military situation is vastly different. After fighting off all challenges for centuries, Rome's military power waned. Okay, and what does it have to do about you? It says, asymmetrical warfare like terror attacks or cyber attacks might cause a decline in American power, but they are not likely to result in a serious military loss. Well, you're about to lose your military. First of all, you can't even recruit. They have an emergency recruiting because they can't get even people to recruit in the army. They can't get them, and then the people they are recruiting are just a bunch of sodomites and women. And then they've actually changed the rules so much that you no longer have to really pass any test to be a part of the army. So you just becoming your army is becoming weak. It's becoming weak. All right, so your military army is actually weak. And the other nations know that. They boast against that. It says the U.S. is not in a cultural or social decline. Oh, please. Oh, please. Okay. Cultural, you got no culture. Social, you push the LGBT agenda. You got the feminist agenda. All these things just dismantle families. You have no culture. You have nothing to stand on. You have no moral ground, no moral high ground whatsoever. Man, please. And then number five, it says one risk in the U.S. comes from technology, complete automation, major life extending medical advances, and space exploration. The Romans didn't have that. Wow. First of all, your space exploration, You never happened. The moon landing never happened. They said 5 years ago. Let's go see if you can find a video. But they said they titled the video "We're going and we're going back and to stay." They said in 2019 that we're going back to the moon in 2024 and we're going to stay. Guess what? No talks have been happening because you're not going back. You never went and you're not doing anything. And why do you need 5 years to do something that you apparently did with ease over 50 years ago? That's a joke. Okay. America is an import country, an import corporation, shall I say. Just those that few times where that the East Coast, the harbor freights, where those people protested, just in those few days, people were panicking because you don't have anything that's that you can sustain yourself with because you sit there, made everything overseas. And then on top of it, when the hurricane had hit like North Carolina and even like different parts of like Tampa or Florida, in those 3 days, you were out of gas. Because in your country, in this corporation, the food on the shelf, every store will tell you they have approximately 3 days worth of food. All it took was for 3 days for no trucks to be driving in that area and they were all out of gas. So you're solely dependent on outside countries to supply you and to feed you to keep you afloat. See, what are you talking about? Okay, your life extending medical advances, you have the most expensive healthcare. Okay? You have the most expenses, whereas other countries have free healthcare. So it's all a joke, and everybody knows this shit is about to collapse. But this is just how they have to lie, just like Elon Musk had to say. He agrees that this is wrong, but he will also agree that no, we can save it. It's not going to happen. Oh, it's going to happen. The book of Psalms, chapter 49. Verse 5. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heels shall compass me about? They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to Yahweh a ransom for him. For the redemption of their soul is precious, and it ceases forever, that he should still live forever and not see corruption. And that's the mentality of these Edomites. They believe solely in tangible things. They believe in money. They believe in riches. That's why America is a corporation and it's greedy. You have the rich and then you have the poor and you have the super elite rich and all else. And they believe in that. They believe that that's what makes them, that's what's going to save their souls, save their lives, if they can harbor all the resources on the planet for themselves. That he should still live forever and not see corruption. For he seeth that wise man die, likewise the fool and the brutish person perish, and leave their wealth to others. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. That's the mentality of the wicked, who harbors riches for himself, who heapeth people for himself, who follows and adopted the manners of the Roman Empire in every way, yet they say that their houses shall dwell forever. That same outcome as Rome won't happen to them, even though they're following the exact same footsteps. Verse 12 says, nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not, he like the beasts that perish. This their way is their folly, yet their posterity approve their sayings. Selah. So that's the mentality of the wicked, that their thoughts shall continue forever. And in actuality, this is all just prophecy, as the Lord established this fourth beast to be in rulership in the end of days. Because when Daniel saw that the fourth beast, which is Rome, had fallen, the prophecy said that Rome would be the last kingdom on the earth before the Lord comes and destroy it. So if the Roman Empire fell, right, back in 325 AD, I want to say, The western part, it was either the eastern, I believe it was the eastern part that fell, or the western part that fell. At that falling, why didn't the Lord come back? Well, it's because, according to Revelation chapter 20, it said the beast's deadly wound will be healed. And it was to reign for a little season. The wound was Roman Empire falling and being brought back again by way of the Renaissance era, which was the Renaissance period, which they would tell you was like the 14th century, which is the 1300s, which adds up to the 1,000 years of being oppressed and being bound. Satan being bound for 1,000 years is Revelation 20. So the deadly wound was healed, is brought back, and it's known as America. And America is a part of NATO, and so is the EU. That's why we say America, NATO, and the EU. All represents the power of the Roman Empire, the power of the Roman structure, whereas America is the headquarters. That was prophesied to be the last kingdom before the Lord comes, and it's back again, and it's about to fall the exact same way. 2nd Ezra chapter 11, the Lord rebuking that fourth beast. Verse 37. And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion chased out of the wood, and I saw that he sent out a man's voice, saying unto the eagle, the Roman Empire, and said, Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth. For thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up to the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also have looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. And therefore appear no more thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for her judgment and the mercy of him that made her. Talking about the earth. So the Lord is going to rebuke the fourth beast, which is America, which is the Roman Empire reincarnated, and you will be rebuked for your horrible dealings for what you did on the earth. Your heart, their mindset is that they're going to reign and rule forever. They will never fall, even though the writing is literally on the wall. And they got that from the scriptures, by the way. The Lord rebuked thee because in the power that you had on the earth, you did nothing but evil with it. And that's why really the New World Order is really the last hurrah. This is the last, that's their final stamp. That's all they have left. It's their last move. And they believe it's going to work, but it's not going to work. And believe me, the wicked elite, they know it's over with. The average Edomite today knows it's over with. They know that they have reached the peak, and then that peak was like 1969, and now they're on a straight decline. They know that there's no bouncing back. They know that there's no coming back. They love Rome so much, they're all infatuated with Rome, and they know that Rome fell, and they know, and they can see the fall of their Rome. It's over with for them. But yet they have a last hurrah, which is going to be that New World Order, and that's the wicked elite. So the fourth beast was established. It is Rome. America is Rome reincarnated. And just as Rome failed back then, it will fall again, and it will be rebuked from the Lord. Shalom.